but I'm hoping that JP is going to have another good showing, another strong showing on Heat 7.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so heat number 7. So we've covered Johnny Elliott, Jacob Lewis, Stephen King. Well, he's been away from the national scene of karting for a couple of years. He's coming back after 3 years away from national level. Andrew Duff, he's been in BRKC ever since the beginning. He raced endurance races, the 24 hours at Teesside, the 24-hour kart at Le Mans. You name it, Andrew Duff has been in it. Michael Weddell, well, we've seen him have to claw back some points, and he has. He's had a couple of good showings today. Kyle Power, he's in the middle of a 5-way bet with the others of the Hornets EKL team. That's the Elite Kart League, and they've got a bit of a wager amongst them. So Kyle Power, and I think he's got the potential to take this. Slavik Piskors is winning that little team battle from the Elite Kart League. But Kyle Power has the potential to take it from him and win the money. I believe that little pot there is up to quite a sizable amount, so it could be worth him getting some points here. Sam Slater, we've seen run right at the front, and he really is very strong indeed. Former Team Sport Chase the Ace runner-up. Warren McKinley, and he's a non-starter.
He's a no-show,
yeah,
apparently.
Warren McKinley non-starter. Dwayne Stoddart. Now, Dwayne Stoddart is relatively new to karting. He's a member of the Vodafone Karting Club. He's just about to start his qualifying lap now, and he is very much new to this kind of level. His teammate Derek Jones, who we saw out earlier, getting a fine 7th place. So Dwayne obviously looking to match him. Dwayne, of course, is entering 4-wheel sports after time as a hurdler. He's competed against the likes of Linford Christie and Colin Jackson. So really at the top level, competed for the for Britain. And so Dwayne Stoddart there having a change of career to 4 wheels. We did joke earlier on that if he's struggling for pace, he might end up ditching the kart and running around the track. As he's a hurdler, he might even leap over the barriers. But he's found the sort of pace he needs to start working his way into the sort of lower midfield. So keep an eye out there for Dwayne Stoddart. Bjorn Vermeulen, we've left him till last. What can we say? If ever there was an obvious winner in this, you'd have to put it down to Bjorn Vermeulen. Let's have a look at the times, though. Right, Sam Slater's on the pole, Kyle Power 2nd, Johnny Elliott 3rd, Michael Weddell 4th, Stephen King 5th, and 6th place for Bjorn Vermeulen. I was hyping him up. He's coming 6th place. Jacob Lewis 7th, another one down the order. Andrew Duff, is he down the order? Probably. Dwayne Stoddart, well, he's running last. Will he move up? There's quite a few people. Once again, how many times have we said this? The order's mixed around. So they'll bring them up to the start. So Sam Slater is going to start from his first pole position at British Rental Kart Championship level. Here comes Sam Slater round. He's making it very slow. Now the question is, when will he hit the power? He's waiting, and now he goes. He's on the gas, and he's been followed by Kyle Power there. And Johnny Elliott getting racy straight away. Tried to move to the side there of Kyle Power. So keep an eye on Johnny Elliott 3rd. He's down the inside, as I said, getting very racy already. Bit robust that. We'll see what the organisers think of it.
Yeah, that was the number 21, I think, involved in that bit of a melee further down the field there, James.
Yeah, bumping and boring that early on is always going to affect a few people. I think I saw Bjorn Vermeulen come through from his lowly start position, which was 6th. So they're racing down the backstretch, well, just out of view there. That's Johnny Elliott bundled wide. His carts all over different parts of the track here.
We're getting some proper side-by-side action here, James.
Side-by-side action. We've got Andrew Duff has suddenly come through from nowhere. He's battling with Bjorn Vermeulen. Duff was at the back, so was Vermeulen, but Bjorn Vermeulen, and they're fighting with Johnny Elliott. This is something for Andrew Duff. Well, I hate to say it, excuse the pun, he is getting duffed up, is Andrew Duff, but well, he seems to be holding his own at the moment. And so here comes the race leader, Sam Slater, Kyle Power, Michael Weddell, and then Johnny Elliott, Andrew Duff, Bjorn Vermeulen, Jacob Lewis, Stephen King, and Dwayne Stoddart bringing up the rear there, but still in contention.
Yeah, I mean, Sam Slater's opened up a nice little gap of at least a second. Last time round was a 33.075.
33.0 by
and that's
Slater.
And that's within the first 3 laps of the race. So already he's pushing the pace forward. He wants to he's increased the gap by 0.4 of a second over Kyle Power in 2nd place.
Absolutely, he's got nearly a 1.5 second lead. Here he comes. That is the race leader, Sam Slater, Kyle Power, Johnny Elliott trying the left, trying the right, and he's working hard to get past Michael Weddell there in 3rd. These two have fought each other many times over the years. They're at it again. Joining the party, though, is Bjorn Vermeulen, who's finally got ahead of Andrew Duff. Bjorn Vermeulen right in the tail of Johnny Elliott now. Bjorn Vermeulen will feel that he qualified out of place. To be honest with you, expected pole position, I'm sure, but it was 6th. As it happens, he's running 5th now, and he's going to be working on Johnny Elliott and Michael Weddle. Now that could get a bit tricky, Alex.
It could indeed. I mean, you know, some people sort of like anticipating a potential pole position, and then they end up 6th, 7th place. You never can tell. It's about hooking it up, you know, doing the warm-up, making sure that you're ready to do your lap, and then if you don't get it, and in the pits, that's...
It's Johnny Elliott. Johnny Elliott. Oh, and coming in with him is Andrew Duff. Surely that's a mistake. Surely that's a mistake. We've got Tom Van Dyke behind. Tom Van Dyke, how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Excellent. Now, I was about to ask you, do you think Bjorn Vermeulen should pit to get away from Weddle and Johnny Elliott? But Johnny Elliott's coming to the pits anyway. Bjorn Vermeulen, do you think he can race his way through this, or is he going to have to strategise his way to the front?
Well, I think he has a good guy, so if I was him, I would just race, try to be quick on track. And if someone is like really defending or something, then he's coming.
Absolutely. In talking of coming in, we've got Michael Weddle who's coming in. So that that battle has sort of exploded apart. Here comes Johnny Elliott. Can he pass Michael Weddle? They're side by side into the snail. Johnny Elliott's on the outside, but he's got the... if he can hang on, I was going to say he'd have the position to hang on. He cannot hang on. Weddle cuts inside him. Johnny Elliott again to the other side, but it's the wrong side. Weddle is going to come out of this lead. No, no, no. Johnny Elliott on the inside now. Johnny Elliott takes the position. Now, what a move from the veteran from Manchester.
That was brilliant. That was making the best opportunity. Had the running of having the momentum run going over the finish line, and literally was side by side. It was just, you had to wait and take your breath after it all happened.
Absolutely right there, Alex Goldsmith. And meantime, we've got Johnny Elliott continuing to lead from Michael Weddle. When I say continue to lead, that is their lower order battle. They have been in the pits. They're running 6th and 7th. They've pitted. Race leader Sam Slater has not. We're going to have to see what he has to offer. Kyle Power is 2nd, and Bjorn Vermeulen is up to 3rd. In the pits, though, we do have somebody important. It's the 17. It's Kyle Power. Kyle Power has pitted out of 2nd place. Now, can he maintain the gap over Bjorn Vermeulen? Whereas Vermeulen, Vermeulen needs to, we need to see what happens when he comes in the pits first. But Bjorn Vermeulen, who has not pitted obviously, he resumes in 2nd place. Now, Kyle Power has dropped to 5th place, which, to be honest with you, Tom, if you're going to be making a pit stop at this point, dropping, 3 places, that's a bit far down the order, don't you think?
Yeah, well, it's just every race is different. Sometimes it's going to be a good thing, but if you drop 2 places from like P2 or something, you have clear air, just drive.
You would have made that move, yeah?
I would just, if I clear air, I'd just drive.
Okay, so that would have been Tom Van Dyke's input there. Tom Van Dyke has been running at the front there. He's one of the visiting drivers. He's going to be in the World Championships. I expect to be in the Belgian Championships that we were talking about before, Tom.
Yeah, I am.
So if you fancied taking on Tom Van Dyke again, get yourself over to Belgium at the beginning of April. Now, Sam Slater, meantime, is the only one to crack open the 32-second bracket, Alex. That is very, very fast. We're seeing people coming into the pits because they feel they can drive faster on their own. But I tell you what, no one's driving faster than Sam Slater right now.
No, he's got the pedal to the metal, and he's not thinking twice about doing so. And that's just really showing him. He's got a 5.2 second gap over Bjorn Vermeulen. And Jacob Lewis running at the top 3. I'm interesting to see what Sam Slater does when he does pit, because you think Kyle Power isn't that far away. He's about 13 seconds, but that still gives Sam Slater a comfortable gap if he wants to do a pit stop very shortly.
Yeah, if Slater was to pit, he would come out just in front of Kyle Power. I think the key thing of that is Kyle Power would really be able to see him, and that might get the bit between his teeth and force him to do something. Meantime, though, Bjorn Vermeulen has moved up to 2nd place. We've yet to see a pit stop from Vermeulen, and that, for me, is the interesting pit stop in the race, because Bjorn Vermeulen, a lot of experience at this kind of thing. He knows exactly when to pit in these situations. He did start out of position, but that's not the sort of thing that he's going to let go to his head. He will be one of the people who can actually kind of analyse that and think his way around the problem. Tom, you've raced against Bjorn Vermeulen a few times. How do you rate his chances of maintaining a spot near the front? Don't worry, I won't tell him what you say.
Well, Bjorn is really quick, but at the moment I don't think that I would know, because Jonathan Elliott is also driving 32 now.
Yeah.
He has to watch, he has to choose if he comes in and defends from Jonathan Elliott, or cars and let Jacob Lewis take over second place. Cars drive and hope that John Kennedy makes get stuck in the battle or something.
Absolutely. Johnny Elliott is about to start lapping people. It's Dwayne Stoddart. Dwayne, actually, no, it's going to be for position. Dwayne Stoddart is fifth. He's not pitted. Dwayne Stoddart, there, will not be getting the blue flag to let the faster car through because Johnny Elliott is in a battle for position with Stoddart in front of him. And I think, is that Carl Power ahead of that? But anyway, Johnny Elliott now is, he's one of the fastest on the track, but he is caught amongst people who are slower. Oh, he's got past Stoddart. Got past Stoddart, the former athlete, as Johnny Elliott continues trying to complete another lap. And so Dwayne Stoddart has been past Johnny Elliott. He's now the fastest on the track, 32.8. Johnny Elliott seriously means business here as he really ups the pace. He overtakes the driver and still sets the fastest lap.
It's go hard or go home, as Matthias Ekstrom would say. So yeah, I mean that's really good. There's a nice
16. Sam Slater in the pits. That's the race leader. This is it. This is what can make or break the race. How does he come out? Bjorn Vermeulen. Bjorn Vermeulen is in the pits behind him and has lost time. Here comes Carl Power and Johnny Elliott. Vermeulen's going to lose hand over fist. I think he's even going to lose to Dwayne Stoddart to be dropped to sixth. This is quite critical, this, as Jacob Lewis assumes the lead, but Sam Slater has pitted and come out in the lead, so only just making it. Let's have a look and see where we're at with this on the screens. So the 18, that of course is where are we? No, there is Johnny Elliott. He's chasing down Kyle Power. Yeah. So we're looking at Johnny Elliott there as he's following Kyle Power. Up in front of them is Sam Slater, and ahead of that is Jacob Lewis, who we feel has not pitted, and that is why he's running in the lead. So there they are, that's the 17, that's Kyle Power. And Kyle Power has Johnny Elliott after him. Johnny Elliott getting faster again. A new record lap for this race by Johnny Elliott in his pursuit of Kyle Power. Alex, Johnny Elliott is seriously going for this. Here he is, second of these two in the white and blue suit, coming into the hairpin there, pushing Kyle Power.
He's got the fire in his belly and he's ready to go for it, and he's pressurising Power really well there, really nicely as they come across the finish line to complete lap 16. With Jacob Lewis still leading ahead of Sam Slater. But yeah, this is the interesting battle I've been looking to watch as well. And when you think about it, you've still got Bjorn Vermeulen and Dwayne Stoddart not far behind. They're actually quite close to him. So it's going to be very interesting how this battle develops for third place.
Absolutely. The relatively inexperienced Dwayne Stoddart at karting, but importantly, not at sporting events. He knows what it takes to be good at sport. Whoa, Johnny Elliott losing a lot of time behind Kyle Power. Is that Vermeulen who's going to take advantage of that, because he's all over the back of Johnny Elliott. This is a three-way fight for third. Kyle Power, Johnny Elliott, Bjorn Vermeulen. We're following on screen there in the snail section there. They're coming out of the snail section on the screen. Here they come. It's Kyle Power coming towards us now. There's Johnny Elliott. Bjorn Vermeulen waving his hand about something, probably saying sorry. But look behind. It's the relative newcomer, Dwayne Stoddart, the former national level athlete who is, British athlete, who is closing in on this group. That's quite something for Stoddart. Even if they are fighting, Stoddart, he is relatively inexperienced. He's doing amazingly well there.
Well, I mean, it shows how you can transfer certain aspects of different sports into motor racing. I mean, we've seen that with many people. I mean, when you think about it, Travis Pastrana, for example, motocross guy, now does rallying and rallycross.
Absolutely. It's a lot to do with the thinking. So all Dwayne Stoddart has to find is the speed. He knows how to go about thinking about things when it comes to sport. Oh, Johnny Elliott. We've seen other people doing sports, Callum Conway with his shooting, and at the very top level, or formerly at the very top level, you've got Jackie Stewart, who's an Olympic level shot, clay pigeon shooting, hasn't he? So, meantime, obviously that's a while ago, so Jackie'd been out of racing for some time. However, here comes Kyle Power, Johnny Elliott and Bjorn Vermeulen, and there is Dwayne Stoddart. Dwayne Stoddart is not being dropped, and that is what's important. Michael Weddle is not able to close in on Dwayne Stoddart as yet. He needs to if he's going to move out of seventh place.
Oh, and there's Bjorn Vermeulen's trying to go around the outside of Jonathan Elliott into the hairpin at the end. I don't know if he quite made it, but it looks like they're still even Stevens as they come around. I did see a little... Sam Slater's actually just overtaken Jacob Lewis, wherever that's come from.
Yeah, we've missed that. Sam Slater cracks in some quick laps and he's overtaken Jacob Lewis. So Sam Slater has taken the lead and, he's well on his way to heading off and winning this thing.
Yeah, Kyle Power's getting increasing pressure from Jonathan Elliott with Bjorn Vermeulen right on his back bumper, but I did see a little bit of nudging between Power and Elliott a little bit earlier on as they were coming through the final turn, and that just shows how much these guys are wanting to get up as many points as possible ready for the semi-finals.
Absolutely, and a big lunge. There's Johnny Elliott. He's made it work, but Bjorn Vermeulen across the line. Johnny Elliott's going to force Vermeulen out. It was going to come from somewhere. Johnny Elliott's in the right position. He's going to have to defend to the inside, and well, that has worked out in Johnny Elliott's favour. Where's Vermeulen come out? Because he was in front of Elliott at one point, but he's been bundled to the back of the group again. So, Elliott.
It might have been I was just being told by Tom that it might be a black flag pass, I think. There.
Oh, a bit too robust then.
Yes.
Well, it was ambitious. It was the kind of attempt we saw from Arnaud Tinet last night, but, you know, using all the road and down the inside. Johnny clearly losing patience there, and, well, we'll see what happens. We've said it before about Johnny Elliott. When it starts to go wrong, properly wrong, he had to do something, but unfortunately his attempt has, by the sounds of things, given him the black flag.
Well, I think it might.
Or a warning flag. Are they going to penalise him? We'll see how this is going to go.
Yeah,
they may just be giving him a warning.
Well, I think that probably was fair enough for a warning, but I think it was Vermeulen's challenge on Elliott coming over the start finish straight.
So we're not entirely sure that it is for Johnny. It's for somebody in that group. Yeah.
I think it might be Bjorn Vermeulen, to be honest with you. I mean, he you know, it was very, very close coming over the finish line. They were side by side trying to go into the snail complex, and I think Bjorn sort of got pushed. Well, I think he was a little bit too far over on the outside, and that probably compromised it. And race control might have thought, well, sorry, mate, you're not doing that.
Absolutely, they're all racing hard. I mean, obviously, it says a lot about Johnny Elliott's luck that I automatically assumed it was going to go to him.
Well, you did say that about Ryan Smith earlier on as well, didn't you? So
yeah, we still don't know the outcome of that.
No, we're still waiting for race control to let us know about the manoeuvres. We're not too sure which ones they've decided to investigate, but I'm sure we'll find out soon enough.
Absolutely, it's a bit of a tenth slower, but on the first lap that Johnny Elliott was sort of released, shall we say, he got ahead of Kyle Power. The following lap was his personal best, and it's also the fastest so far in this race. Johnny Elliott is setting a searing pace. There's three of them inside 32 seconds. Sam Slater, Johnny Elliott and Bjorn Vermeulen, and Elliott currently is the fastest. Vermeulen stuck behind Kyle Power, and well, is he going to go for a robust Elliott-style move, or what? We're going to have to wait and see.
I think really it's, you know, you're going to find that there are going to be some opportunities that aren't really worth taking. So it just depends on what Bjorn Vermeulen does on Kyle Power. He's right on the back bumper as they come sweeping around the left-hander towards the back straight, and just wondering if there's going to be a move anytime soon. Not quite yet from Bjorn Vermeulen, but he's right on Kyle Power. And Jonathan Elliott's going to be loving this because he'll think now's my chance to get away and put in some quick lap times.
Well, we've got 5 minutes remaining, which around this track is probably going to give Bjorn Vermeulen somewhere in the region about 9 more chances. Oh, Johnny Elliott slowed. Johnny Elliott slowed. Oh my goodness, he's lost position to Kyle Power and Bjorn Vermeulen. What's going on?
No, I think that was the black flag pass that Tom was talking about. So maybe Johnny Elliott's move was a bit too robust for race control's liking.
Johnny Elliott's been forced to give the position back. Well, I did assume it was Johnny, and it is, of course. Bjorn has moved ahead of Kyle Power, we believe. Has he? Oh, on Johnny Elliott. So poor old Johnny Elliott losing more. He tried to tuck in between the two, but, well, he's always going to come under attack, isn't he, from Bjorn Vermeulen. Vermeulen is going to be trying to make up anything he can. At the moment, we've still got Sam Slater leading. Jacob Lewis second, Kyle Power third, Bjorn Vermeulen there. Johnny Elliott, Michael Weddell, Andrew Duff, Stephen King. Dwayne Stoddart has now been dropped to 9th place in the final runner there. And
he's just pitted as well, judging by the lap time.
That's really what's put him there, isn't it? Now, Johnny Elliott really working hard on the back of Bjorn Vermeulen there. Kyle Power seems to have a bit of a breather. Now, this is a little bit reminiscent of the battle we saw with Lewis Manley and Ian Anderson just in the previous race. And when they fought, they couldn't catch the car ahead. Will Vermeulen and Elliott slow themselves down? We're going to find out very soon. Not that much time left in this race. 4 minutes to go.
Yeah, but Sam Slater's just banged in another fastest lap of a 32.8. So we're running in the sort of, you know, we're getting closer to sort of between, you know, towards the mid 32s, but it's really showing that the track is coming to. Oh, so I think we're just getting an update from race control, reference a couple of manoeuvres. I think James has got an update for us on what's just happened.
Well, As we said before about Johnny, it goes wrong and then it goes wrong some more. We saw Johnny Elliott get the bad pass flag. He didn't respond in time. He eventually responded, but by then he'd gone through 2 black flags, and I think the organisers may well be disqualifying him out of this. We'll see what the actual penalty is at the end, but whatever happens, this is not one that Ollie's going to be taking too kindly to, because he can't have his marshals ignored like this, and Johnny just left it too long. If you do get a bad pass flag, drivers do need to respond to it very quickly. Johnny just didn't do it in time. So we're seeing Johnny Elliott, well, all he's got to do is keep going and see what they do to him at the end. He's fighting there with Vermeulen, Kyle Power. Of course, Kyle Power and Bjorn Vermeulen probably don't know that Johnny is going to get the penalty of penalties, and they'll continue to fight them. The question is, Alex, of course, will this affect Vermeulen's efforts on Kyle Power? If he knew that Johnny was not a factor, he probably wouldn't care.
I think, you know, when you're in the heat of battle, it's going to be one of those, if you don't know what's going on, or you're not aware of certain things, like say Johnny Elliott having the, you know, a major ramification against his race result, that's the biggest conundrum. So these guys are going to be battling right the way. I can see it happening, you know, with 2 minutes remaining. They're going to be battling until the end. Bjorn Vermeulen will still think, oh, Johnny Elliott's on my tail, I've got to keep him
Elliott's coming in the pitch. Johnny Elliott is serving his penalty. So what they've obviously done is given him a drive-through. Hang on a minute. He totally went through that one. It's time to go, Johnny, but I think you may have a penalty from your penalty. As we say, with Johnny Elliott, it never rains, it pours. It's gone wrong, it's gone further wrong, it's gone even more wrong. Well, he is probably going to end up last in this, isn't he? Goodness knows, he's been doing so well. This was going to be the race that turned around his fortunes following his win yesterday. It was yesterday, wasn't it? Yeah. But, well, it's all gone to pieces.
Yeah, and with not that much remaining, I think we've got just under a minute and a half left with Sam Slater, you know, doing a really, really good job keeping Jacob Lewis at bay.
Will Johnny be in this time around though, Alex? That's what I'm interested in. Is he coming in the pitch? No, he's not. Well, goodness knows what is going to be done and said. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. We're not making the decision. We're not receiving the decisions either. You know, it's Johnny's problem, and it's the organisers who are putting that decision on. We're not really part of it. Into the pits though, a very late stop there. That's the 12. That's Jacob Lewis. Now, where will he run to? Because really we've ignored him by and large. He's dropped down a little bit to 4th. Vermeulen and Power have passed him. He's a real beneficiary of Johnny Elliott's penalty there, because of course Jacob Lewis would have been 5th.
Yeah, I mean, and Jacob having a win earlier on this weekend, you know, has shown that he has the calibre to be a top 5 runner.
Absolutely, we're going to be getting the checker any moment now. It is Sam Slater. Sam Slater is going to come steaming round and take the win. They're readying the checker down there in race control, and they're going to be heading out to award the checker to Sam Slater. What a result by him. Coming to this event, would you consider Sam Slater a winner? Probably not, but he's done very, very well, and now it's no real surprise to see him up in the front. Some very fast driving. He's currently the fastest on the track, 32.7. That is a ballistic pace.
And the checker's been brandished, and Sam Slater takes the win.
But Sam Slater takes it, but Vermeulen has passed Power, and Bjorn Vermeulen is going to be 2nd place. Now that is pretty good from a 6th place start, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Bjorn Vermeulen's actually really, really shown that, yeah, despite qualifying.
So Tom, Bjorn Vermeulen, you were saying he was a very good racer. He's got up to 2nd place. He'll be pleased with that one, surely.
Yeah, he will. If he started 6th place, he will be very happy with 2nd.
Yeah, so that was Tom Van Dyke just talking about Bjorn Vermeulen there, and Kyle Power 3rd, Jacob Lewis came 4th, he was running 2nd right to the end there when he had to pit. Michael Weddle 5th, Andrew Duff 6th. That's a good result there for Andrew Duff. He'll be pleased with a bunch of points from that one. Stephen King and Johnny Elliott listed in 8th, Dwayne Stoddart 9th, but well, we still don't know what's going to happen reference Johnny Elliott, because it seemed to be problem on problem, penalty on penalty. To be fair, it just unravelled in the most well, sorry to say it like this, but it unravelled in the most Johnny Elliott way you could imagine.
I think you couldn't have put it any better there, James. I mean, there's going to be a very heated discussion between Johnny and race control on what's happened and where that puts him, but at the end of the day, it's happened. You can't do anything about it. You just have to sort of, I think, lick your wounds and start the fight another day.
Absolutely, truly a great driver, Johnny Elliott. He really is. He can get the job done, but unfortunately not happening for him today. Okay.